A very good morning to all. Welcome to class 11th economics. In the last class, we started the new chapter of microeconomics, that is production. This chapter is from unit number 3, which is producers behavior and supply. And the chapter is about the production. Almost 2-3 slides of this PowerPoint we had already discussed in the last class, that what is meant by production, how production takes place in the economy, what are the short run and long run time periods, what is the fixed factor and variable factor. So almost this concept we had already studied, but I would like to recapitulate it for 5 minutes. So I'm going to take the revision of this concept that we had studied in the last class for about 5 minutes. Then we will continue with the next topic. Okay. So first of all, we talk about production, meaning of production. So first of all, I must tell you about the meaning of production. See, when we talk about production meaning, I'll simply say production refers to converting the raw material into finished products. Production refers to converting the raw material into finished products, which means production is all about producing something. So it is a process, and in that process we try to convert the raw materials into finished products, as we all are aware of, right? So in the production, all inputs are provided in the production process, and those inputs after the production process turns into output. So first of all, we must know that what is meant by inputs. Now, what are the inputs? When we talk about inputs, I'll simply say that inputs are the raw materials which are used in the production process. For example, we are using land, we are using labor, we are using raw material, we are using capital in the production process, and there is a manager also, entrepreneur also, who is taking care of all these inputs, so that these inputs should implied in and should be converted into output. All right. So production is basically a process which converts the raw material into finished products. Okay, fine. Now, production function. So now let me tell you about the production function. See, you can see the circle which are called as inputs. These are the inputs. The inputs are implied in the production process. For example, we are applying machinery, tools, physical force means labor, raw material, then labor, power and fuel. We are applying all these inputs. We are applying all these inputs in the production process. And what do we get? We get the outputs. See, we get the outputs. So whenever the inputs are applied in the production process, the turning outcome comes out to be the output. Output means the final commodities. Output means the final commodities, which is the result of production. Suppose if I have a chocolate factory, I'm applying a lot of inputs to get the output done. For example, I am just giving the input of, for example, machinery, the raw material required to produce the chocolates. Labor is also working there because machineries are there. So some tools are also are being applied as input. Same as power and fuel is also there, by which help only there would be the machinery would be used. So all these inputs are applied in the production process, and by doing a lot of work, what end result I am getting. The end result which I am getting is the output. Output means the production of units. The production of units, the output, the final commodity, right? So moving further, important facts about production function, which I told you in the last class also. Important facts like production function is expressed with reference to a particular period of time, because production is always there for a period of time. Then it expresses a physical relation between inputs and outputs. Of course, it's a physical relation. How many inputs I am applying, that will definitely depend upon how many outputs I am getting, right? How many inputs I am applying, that will result upon, that will depend upon what output I am getting. My output is actually dependent on the inputs. My output, my finished products are actually dependent on the inputs, that what input I have applied there, that will give me the result of what output I'm getting, right? So it's a technological relationship also. So we can say production function is the technical or physical relationship between the physical inputs and physical output. Means what input have you applied and what output is the result of getting all this production process. Next, if I talk about short run versus long run. Now, let me tell you about the short run and long run. The lower part is the long run. See, before going for the short run and long run, you must know about the fixed factors and variable factors. Of course, you must know about the fixed factor and variable factors. So first of all, let me tell you about the fixed factors. See, when I tell you that what are the fixed factors, I'll simply say factors means the factors of production. Here we are talking about. Please listen very carefully. It's very important. Factors means the factors of production. The inputs which we are using are actually the factors of production. All right. So when I'm saying factors of production means I'm talking about the inputs only, factor inputs only, right? So fixed factors are basically those factors which do not get changed in the short run, which do not get changed in the short run. Take the example of machinery. When you purchase the machinery, you do not change your machinery over many years. Can you change the machinery in the next year only? I'm not going to change the machinery in the next year because that is my fixed cost. That is my fixed cost because it is going to give me the benefit up to several years. Kafi saal tak in the long run, it is going to give me the benefit. In a hospital, if they have applied the CT scan machine, if they have purchased the X-ray machine, ECG machine, do you think that every year they are going to change the ECG machine, X-ray machine or CT scan machine? Not at all. They are not going to change it every year. They are going to use it over the years, which means they are not going to use, they are not going to change their fixed factors in the short run. They will be changing their fixed factors in the long run when they feel like that now it is a time, it is a high time to change the fixed factors. Are you getting my point that what are the fixed factors? So fixed factors are basically those factors of production which do not get changed in the short run. The producer changes the fixed factor over a period of time when it feels like that now the fixed factors are not giving him any profit, and ultimately the cost incurred on the fixed factor in the point of depreciation or repair and maintenance is quite heavy than what profit I am getting from the fixed factors. Then you need to change it. Chalo, take one more example. Take the example of your personal car. Your personal car, when you purchase it, when you purchase your personal car, then definitely it's a fixed factor, right? Agar suppose if you are a driver, if you are a Ola cab driver, then definitely you have purchased your own car to be used as a Ola taxi, right? That is your fixed factor because you're providing service, you're providing cab service by using your fixed input, which is car, which would be turned into the taxi, right? Now when you have purchased the Ola car, you have purchased the car and using it as an Ola taxi, do you think that this fixed factor you are going to change it every year? or in short span of time. As an Ola cab driver, I would not be able to change my Ola car over a period of time. I would definitely be changing it in the long run, which when I feel like that the repair and maintenance, the depreciation on the car is quite high, then what amount of income I'm generating from my taxi, then I'm going to change it in the long run. But in the short run, I'm not going to change the fixed factors. So dhyan rakhna, in the production process, always there are two types of factors. One is the fixed factor and one is the variable factor. When we say fixed factor, then fixed factors are basically those factors which are ultimately fixed in nature, which means which you are not going to change it in the short run. You are going to change it in the long run only. But what about the variable factor? Variable factor are the factors which changes in the short run also. Take the example of petrol or diesel or any fuel which you are using in your Ola taxi. You have to just, you know, whatever output you are giving, jitne zyada rounds aap lagane wale, you have to just add on more and more petrol and any fuel which you are using in your car or taxi. That is the variable factor. Variable factor means which changes with the change in level of output. If output is more, if you want to produce more, you have to apply more variable factor. If I want to have more and more rounds through Ola taxi, definitely I need to impart more and more fuel into the Ola taxi. Otherwise I would not have to. If suppose in on any day, if Ola taxi is just standing at my place, I'm not moving, I'm not going to take any round from Ola, then definitely I would not be applying any would not be giving any petrol to my taxi. I hope my point is clear, that fixed factors are those factors which changes which changes with the change in level of output, or basically which does not change with the change in level of output, or which changes only in the long run, not in the short run. But when we talk about the variable factors are basically those factors variable factors are basically those factors which changes even in the short run, right? I hope I'm clear with this. So the example of fixed factor can be machine, and the example of variable factor can be like raw material, right? Okay, now difference between fixed inputs and variable inputs. It is basically the difference between fixed factors and variable factors. When we explain about the fixed factors, we simply say it remain same in the short period, because we are not going to change our big machineries. We are not going to change our big plants. So it remains same in the short run. But when we talk about the variable factors are those factors which changes, right? Which varies even in the short run. ये तो short run में भी change होता है, because labor. If you want to have more production, you have to apply more labor, even in the short run. If you want to have more production, you have to apply more fuel and power, even in the short run. So second point, I can say that at any level of output, the amount is remain the same. Fixed input is always same. And even the cost which is applied on fixed input is known as fixed cost. For example, on land and building, we are applying building rent, that is fixed cost. And on variable inputs, the cost which is applied is the variable cost. So the fixed inputs examples can be building, land, etc. And the variable inputs examples can be raw materials, labor, etc. Fine? Okay. Next, देखिए जरा. Difference between short run and long run. I think now it is clear to all already, the difference between short run and long run. Short run is a period of time in which, what we say, which factor is constant in short run? Of course, the fixed factor remains constant in short run, and in the long run, all factors become variable. All factors becomes variable, whether that is the fixed factor or variable factor. All factor becomes variable in the long run, right? In the short run, we say that the scale of output is constant. Scale of output means basically we'll study it further in the law that we'll be doing. But let me tell you that in the short run, it is observed that the output which you are getting is almost same, but in the long run, the output gets changed. Okay, now here comes the next topic. So moving towards the next topic, that is total product. First of all, total product. So when we are talking about total product, let us do with an example. Let us do with the help of an example, right? Please see to the example which I'm just going to give you to the text box. So let's do it. See, I'm going to explain you total product. That what is total product? See, when we explain that what is total product, let's do it with the help of an example. Suppose you have 5 laborers in the factory. Please listen to it very carefully. You have 5 laborers in your factory. Labor 1 who produced 10 units. Then labor 2 who produced 20 units. वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा experience था. Labor 3 who is new to the factory produced 5 units. Labor 4 who produced 15 units. And labor 5 who produced 20 units. See, we have 5 laborers in our factory. We have 5 labor in our factory, in which labor 1 is producing 10 units, labor 2 is producing 20 units, labor 3 is producing 5 units, labor 4 is producing 15 units, and labor 5 is producing 20 units, right? Now the question arises, what is the total product? What is the total product in the factory? The factory में total product कितना है? Now we have to see that what is the total product in the factory. So let me tell you. Total product is ultimately, total product is, yeah, total product refers to the total output. The total output generated. Please, this is the final definition and very important. Total output generated by applying all inputs. This is the very, very important definition. Total product refers to the total output generated by applying all inputs, which means when you apply all inputs, labor 1, labor 2, labor 3, labor 4, labor 5, which means when you apply all 5 labors, what is the total product generated? The total product by applying all 5 labors, all 5 labors will be equal to, of course, 10 units plus 20 units plus 5 plus 15 plus 20, right? Which comes to 30, 35, 50, 20, 70 units. This is your total product. So हमेशा ध्यान रखना है. The total product refers to the total output generating by applying all the inputs. सारे इनपुट्स को अप्लाई करने के बाद जो टोटल आउटपुट निकल के आ रहा है, दैट इज योर टोटल प्रोडक्ट, राइट? सो व्हेन वी डिफाइन द टोटल प्रोडक्ट, it is the sum total of output of each units of the variable factor used. Variable factor means inputs used in the process of production is called the total product. I hope this is clear to all, that what is meant by the total product, right? So let's move further. First of all, now let us talk about the average product. Average product. You will be able to get the average product with the help of total product only, right? Total product से ही आपको average product मिल जाएगा, only with the total product. We have to find out average product. So we'll take the example of which we have taken in the total product. So let us find out the average product. When we explain average product, so let me tell you the definition first. Average product refers to the per unit of product produced by the help of variable factor, right? It is basically it refers to the output generated per unit, output generated by applying per unit of variable factor, by applying per unit of variable factor. See, so average product refers to the per unit physical output. Let's see in the example, when the total output was 70, see how we will be getting the AP. AP is ultimately equals to TP divided by output. So यहाँ पे AP will be equals to TP. Total product was 70 units, right? 70 unit was the total product, and we got 70 units by how many total inputs? We can say units. Output ko even you can write as units. 5, right? So now tell me what will be the average product. That will be 14 units. Means on an average one person is making 14 units. इसका मतलब ये हुआ, average product का मतलब ये हुआ, on an average one person is making 14 units. That refers to the average product. So if the total product was 70 units, if the total product was 70 units and we reached to 70 units by applying the 5 units of input labor, which means on an average one labor has produced how many units? One labor has produced 14 units, right? उसका मतलब यही है, that one labor has produced the 14 units. This refers to this only. इसका मतलब यही है that one labor has actually produced the 14 units. I hope this is clear to all, right? Now the third part, marginal product. Marginal product refers to the additional product by applying one more unit of input. So let me first of all give you its definition. What refers to the marginal product? Marginal means additional. इसको हम additional भी बोलते हैं बेटे. Marginal product refers to the extra output. It refers to the extra output generated by employing one more or one extra unit of input, right? So this is the extra product जो एक extra unit से हमने बनाया. बड़े easily हम लोग इसको बेटे clearly समझ सकते हैं. So let us understand with the example, with one numerical example. See, for example, if I say labor 1 produced suppose 20 units. Labor 1 produced 20 units. Labor 2 produced suppose 30 units. Labor 3 produced 40 units. It is actually what I'm explaining here is, see, isko bade easily lo pehle. Let us say that when labor 1, only labor 1 was working, we were getting 20 units. When 2 labors are working, labor 2 produce means we are talking about 2 labors. यहाँ पे हम 2 labors की बात कर रहे हैं, 1 and 1 more. They are producing 30 units. 3 labors, इसको ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं हम 3 labors. Let me explain it in that way also. 3 labors produce जितने, 2 labors produced 30 and 3 labors produced 40. And when we talk about the one labor produced 20. Now, very important thing. देखो बेटे, when we are saying that when we moved from labor 1 to labor 2, when we moved from labor 1 to labor 2, sorry, so when we moved from labor 1 to labor 2, what we observed? We simply observed one thing. देखो, जब हम लेबर 1 से लेबर 2 पे गए तो हमने एक चीज देखी कि लेबर 1 was making 20 units, labor 2 labors are making 30 units. Tell me what is the extra unit produced? What is the extra units produced? Of course 10 units, है ना? The unit increased by 10 units. These 10 units are ultimately known as the marginal product. Yes, these 10 units are ultimately known as the marginal products. Marginal product 10 units by increasing one more labor. Now let's talk about 2 labors to 3 labors. When we moved from 2 labors to 3 labors, which means by applying one more unit of labor, the production increased from 30 units to 40 units, which means 10 units got increased. 10 units got increased. This is the marginal product. So marginal product refers to the change in total product when one more unit of variable factor is used, or we can say it refers to increase in total product when one more unit of input is increased, right? So total product also get changed. So जितने number से total product change होता है, that is ultimately known as the marginal product. पहले marginal product देखो 20 से 30 हुआ तो 10 का change हुआ, फिर 30 से 40 हो गया, suppose 10 का again change हो गया, suppose now it get increased by from 40 to 60. जैसे हमने one more labor use की, we came to the 4 labors, it increased to 60. Then tell me, it increased by again 20 units. It increased again by 20 units. So that 20 unit will be the marginal product. I hope I'm clear to this point, right? So we have studied the 3 types of products, that is total product, average product and marginal product. But in this chapter you will be getting the numerical also on this 3 types of products only. That's why we have covered this. All right, so in the next class we will be starting its numerical, and then we'll be learning the law of variable proportion, which is very important from this chapter. All right. So till then, good luck and just tell me your doubts.